I tell you what, if everyone would just stop trying to make more work for Joe would actually be able to sleep at night. And this isn't an indictment on YouTube, because you did a fantastic job last week. Very good episode. The viewers on YouTube agreed. Most watched episode of the year, 3 episodes in. Most watched episode in multiple months. So, great job.
We've only been doing this for a month, so.
Well, yeah, but like going back to last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good job. Very good job to these two boyos holding down the fort last week as I was in the great state of Connecticut.
Yeah, I phoned it in at the end of last year. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. I think we were all phoning it in. That's okay.
When we get to that end of the season scrum, oof, I'll tell you what, we're all like, just like, yeah, playoffs sure are crazy.
Well, it doesn't help too that last year, like going into the finale, we're like, man, this has been good, and then it was like, and Joey Logano won.
It just like killed any remaining enthusiasm we had.
Who
left.
was it? The final 4 last year? It was Logano, Bell, Reddick, and Blaney?
Byron. Byron instead of Bell, because that whole controversy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Bing bong. I miss that guy. Wonder what he's up to.
Oh my god, on the streets of New York. I don't know.
Wonder what he's up to. Wonder if he's enjoying this new America.
No, I don't have a new segment for the show. Never mind. I thought I had
awesome. Well, welcome to the Fake Racers podcast, folks. Davey once again trying to make more work for me, but I'm just gonna run right past that.
It's not a real.
That's Davey talking right now. That was Davey. I'm Joe, and Matthew is down below.
Hello.
There he is. He's got his Shoresy hat on this week. Of course, Matt is back from Daytona Supercross. Did you enjoy Daytona Supercross, Matt?
Yeah, it was unironically a great set of races, but yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
I was also
awesome to see it in person, or
Oh yeah.
I would also like
last year I stole Jet Lawrence's goggles, but unfortunately I couldn't do it this year because Ken Roxon didn't do a burnout in front of the crowd. So.
Darn.
Bummer.
Yeah. I would like to thank the Hazard reception for scheduling the reception on the one weekend that there was something active on track at Daytona happening that would make it so Austin and I couldn't go to the track and tour and go see things. So appreciative of that.
It's like, you're not going anywhere, Joe. You're staying here.
Can't do anything right, man.
I did go to Buc-ee's, so that was cool.
Yes.
I enjoyed that. Bristol got a plushie of beaver nuggets. I brought home beaver nuggets for the fam, and got some other trinkets and stuff, and enjoyed some brisket.
When we went to Tulsa a year and a half ago, when we drove through northern Texas, like the whole time my sister-in-law was like, I just want to see a Buc-ee's, and the nearest Buc-ee's was in like Dallas, like 5 hours away, and she was pissed.
Yeah. My mom now wants to go on a road trip to a Buc-ee's, and the nearest one is like 6 hours away. So, and you have to drive through the entire state of Ohio to get to it in Kentucky. So, yeah,
it's
gonna be rough. But
it's all about trade-offs. Yeah.
You guys could just come fly out. We have spare room.
I hear they're flying across.
I hear there are races going on in Daytona at some point this year. I don't know when.
Okay.
You might be able to check the schedule.
Yeah. Let me just book another plane ticket and then get stuck in Denver on my way back to Detroit.
There's a Buc-ee's north of Denver, so...
Oh! Well, there we go.
Imagine a 2 Buc-ee trip.
Yeah, just get like a half-day layover in Denver just to go to a Buc-ee's.
Hey, you sound like Tommy.
Yeah. No, that was a 29-hour layover.
Oh my god.
To save 14 cents.
Hey, he saved that 14 cents, and now, poof, it's gone because of inflation. Folks, thank you for watching the Fake Racers podcast. Make sure you like, listen, comment, whatever. That was our cold open this week. Let me just give you a little podcasting 101. That was a cold open. So, thanks for watching.
My favorite part of the podcast is when we tell people our like podcast tactics while we're doing them. This is me making a joke.
Whoa. Shoot, that's like some advanced shit.
That was Joe pressing the beep button.
Nah.
He's not going to press the beep button.
No, I'm too lazy for that.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't make money on the Fake Racers podcast, so we can only thank you at home for watching, because the only source of gratification that we get from this show is not monetary. It is you hitting the like
win.
button and subscribing and following at Fake Racers on Twitter. I mean X. I mean whatever Elon's calling it this week. Yeah.
It's when the funny number goes up. Number go up means do more gooder.
That's right. That's right. Just like Christopher Bell's number went up because he gets his second win of the year. A pretty fun little battle there with Kyle Busch at the end of the race after a late caution caused by Denny Hamlin. Thoughts on Christopher Bell?
Honestly, that was actually a really good race. It was like, God, there were like 4 or 5 cars up there battling for the lead at the end of that. Kyle Busch put up a hell of a fight, which we'll get to that. But no, it was fantastic. I think the new layout is a win. I saw a lot of people really upset about it, which is, I say that a lot on this show.
Why?
About things that ended up being really good.
Well, like upset about it before coming into the weekend, or like after? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which, you know, I like I said, I say that a lot about things that end up being good. So not really. I can't really base anything off of that. But I think it surprised everyone. I think people were happy with the change. I think it was personally better than the full layout. And yeah, dude, I'm glad they reprofiled it as well, compared to just using the cutoff, like the cutaway turns that were there already, because apparently they didn't use what was there already because of some really weird like circuit grade where like there was a really heavy bump. Thanks to Garrett for friend of the show supplying that information, and so they kind of instead introduced like a new layout that's like 20 feet longer than the old one, but it doesn't have a chicane and it's all like graded properly, and it was a really cool little element of the track that I liked watching, and it made for very, very, very good racing.
Yeah, I thought it was a great race. Because I remember we were talking about this, I think 2 years ago, where we were thinking like, could you cut off that upper section of the track? And we were all thinking like, you eliminate, you know, one major passing opportunity, and the sharp corner after that long straightaway is also a passing opportunity that you might possibly be nerfing, but still put on a great show. Like that turn 6A, I think is what it was called, was like a hot spot all day. Turn, I think 12 is the one that was at the end of the straightaway. That one was still a great passing opportunity.
Yep.
I definitely enjoyed it. I think it was a good decision to do that, and just like overall, just a great race.
Yeah.
Cut down on a lot of caution time as well, which was good. And, more laps and more hard braking zones helps with tire wear. Tires did fantastic all day. Wow, we're getting somewhere with this car, 3-4 years in.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Kyle Busch, you mentioned it there, Davey. He had a fantastic day. I don't want to say a Kyle Busch of old day, but it feels like this 8 team has some momentum to start the year.
Yeah, and it was sad to see how quickly that car kind of ended up falling off. But overall, Kyle Busch, the driver, did a fantastic job placing his car for much of that final run. It seems like the rest of the guys that were chasing him all kind of caught up to him a little too early for him to just last that little bit longer.
Caution didn't help either.
Caution definitely didn't help, but yeah, I mean overall, like you said, I wouldn't call that Kyle Busch of old, but that is the kind of Kyle Busch that we need to see. I feel like the Kyle Busch has been there. I feel like RCR's maybe let him down a little bit, but it's easy to say that after a race like that. I still am a little bit tepid about giving that team its flowers before we get to some of the more, some of like the more grindy parts of the season and the bulk of the tracks that we're going to be on. But it's a good sign for sure, and it shows that Kyle Busch is definitely still up for it on his day. And maybe this past weekend wasn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see one that is his day.
Yeah, he drove like such a perfect like defensive drive for God knows how many laps it was that he held off Bell.
Yeah.
And like the big kind of caveat of that was that, Bell spun him at this race last year. Mm-hmm. And so you could definitely tell that he was kind of driving on eggshells at the end of that. Like, I'm not going to piss off Kyle again. Like, if I'm going to get him, I'm going to do it clean. And so I think the reason why Kyle fell off so badly was, Bell was on fresher tires and it had such a speed advantage, but was kind of almost like holstering it a little bit because he was trying to race Kyle so cleanly. And Kyle had to push so hard to keep him behind him that entire time that once the dam burst, it just kind of immediately all fell apart as soon as, Bell got by. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Kyle was awesome all day, led the most laps. But, when it came down to it, we still had an awesome, 4-car battle for the lead at the very end. With Byron kind of becoming it was a reverse the last year where you had Byron running down Bell instead of the other way around. And, which I'm sure we were going to parlay into this. So refreshing to see a race end that cleanly. Byron absolutely could have punted Bell off in the final 2 corners and didn't. And I honestly think it's because he watched Bell be so patient with Busch and was like, well, I can't punt him after that,
I also don't know if, have we seen William Byron move a guy to win a race? I feel like some drivers just don't have that bone in their body. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I think it's in the way the format is, that might be a bad thing. In terms of if you're not willing to do everything to win a championship at Phoenix going into turn 4, or in turn 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also you don't want to do what Daniel Hemrick did, let's say. Maybe that's, it's okay that it happened once, but you don't want it to happen every time, right?
It's not to say that, I'm against ever using the bumper, but, in that situation, and it was, it was 10 laps of super aggressive but fair racing.
Yes.
And it would have stunk to watch that whole battle then boil down to Reddick's just going to punt Byron into Bell and knock both of them out of the way, and then the whole finish becomes a farce,
Yeah, but that would have been funny.
I appreciated that. True, it would have been funny.
Funny, yes, but it would have taken away from it. Overall, it was really cool to see 3-4 guys kind of under a blanket there at the end, just driving the piss out of it. I'm a big fan of
that. Someone that drew the piss out of it on lap 1 was Ross Chastain. What was he thinking there, Matt?
Well, he surely didn't listen to the broadcast where they emphasized you can't win the race on lap 1 about 80 times. And then he was like, well, time to end. Make sure Chase Elliott loses it on the first lap. Because that was not great.
I'm gonna defend my boy Ross. Obviously it wasn't intentional. It is really easy on a race start to drive in over your head, especially when your name's Ross Chastain and you have this innate need to be hyper aggressive, which is funny given the conversations we had last week. But yeah, obviously it was pretty dumb. It was pretty stupid. I think he would tell you that. That's why later in the race, when they did kind of finally cross paths again, when Chase Elliott had those tires at the end and was moving through the field, Ross was like, you know what? Have it. I don't blame him.
After you. Go ahead.
I don't blame him. And he probably did do that with that in mind, knowing, he earned having to slow down for that, I wouldn't put it past him to believe that.
Yeah, and obviously, if we're talking about this 2 years ago, it's a different conversation with Ross.
Yes.
But I think he's definitely maybe not earned the benefit of the doubt, but people know what he's about. They know he's not going to try to be an idiot like that. It happens. It's just funny that it was Ross again.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
It was, as much as I don't despise Chase Elliott, pretty funny to watch. Can't lie to you.
Yeah.
It was the radio conversation where Alan Gustafson is like, yeah, we need to get him back. And Chase is like, well, can you tell me what happened there first before I get all angry? Alan Gustafson is like devil on the shoulder, it feels like, all the time. It's like, dude is just angry. Chase is like, whoa, dude, calm down.
I don't even know who it was.
It just makes me think of that like in our 2003-2015 Verizon 500, formerly known as the Daytona 500 radioactive video, where Austin Dillon wrecks and then his spotter's like, "I'm gonna shoot the asshole that did this to you."
Yeah. So
Don't worry, we got someone going to his house right now. Gonna burn it down with his whole family inside.
So some fun stuff happening there. Davey, some fun stuff happened on Saturday.
Yeah, well, it had to happen on Saturday because Connor Zilisch had a pretty miserable end to his Cup Series race,
Yes.
hitting his own teammate
Dude.
after his teammate didn't hold the brakes, getting wrecked.
He was hauling so much ass on Sunday.
He was.
At
That
one
car
point, I was
very
like, he's gonna win on debut. Like, he's gonna do this. Yeah.
But he did kind of get mired back, caught up in that wreck. However, Saturday saw him win his second NASCAR Xfinity Series race, once again at a road course. Tell you what, that kid's something.
Dude,
He's
That-
absurd.
should scare the hell out of everybody else. Like,
They should. I know.
Those are
I know that
hops.
he made a couple of. That was. I saw that. That was good. He made a couple of rookie mistakes on Saturday for sure.
yeah.
And that that is not to take away from the drive, but something that he is going to have to clean up, and I assume he will, given his age and how few. I mean, that was his 7th Xfinity Series race ever. Then his second win. He made a bunch of rookie mistakes, and he still went on to win. That kid is going to be absolute lightning for a long time, and he could go and do anything he wants, anywhere he wants, in any type of race car because he's just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate too that like one of the first things he said when he got out of the car was he was like, "Yeah, I made that like way more difficult on myself, and like I feel bad that I kind of beat the hell out of a bunch of other cars in the process of getting back here."
Yeah.
But,
Including a couple teammates, which raises the question, how do you race your teammates?
Ooh.
well, so okay, what was
This is a
the
tough
first one? Because I know he and Quapple were battling, but what was the other one? I can't remember. Or was there another one?
How do you race your teammates?
Okay.
Don't worry about
Anyway.
it.
Anyway, I think it depends. There's a lot of context that goes into this. I mean, you're looking at if you're at Daytona or you're at Atlanta, I think the narrative there and the expectation is pretty clear with your teammates. If you're at a track that is not so drafty, and especially a road course, especially a short track where there is a lot of thinking that you have to do for yourself, I think you give more grace and benefit of the doubt. But you have to run your own race. You can't sit around waiting for your teammate to figure out what they're doing or wait for their tires to warm up or whatever. Or like I know that's not exactly pertaining to this ordeal right now, but I'm just saying in general, like, you can't sit around and wait for your teammate, and you can't always race your teammate perfectly clean, because that's just kind of the nature of it. Like, there's no perfect world where you're going to be able to race everyone absolutely perfectly cleanly. I mean, it's a contact sport. There are fenders on these cars. They use them, whether it's on purpose or not. Like, this is the kind of thing that's going to happen, and you have to be ready to be okay with it. Like I said, give benefit of the doubt, give some grace. Maybe your lap cut off for like pure aggression is like a little bit later for teammates, but at the end of the day, my opinion is you need I have never. God, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering so much. I've just never ever in all my time watching the sport put weight on the teammate thing. Like you give your teammate a little bit extra room, and that's it. When it comes down to the business end of the race, you race them more or less like anyone else, and your only objective is to make sure that you don't wreck, which should be the objective all the time. For some drivers, it isn't, but like with a teammate, that's the bare minimum. You guys can't wreck. That's it. Otherwise, do what you got to do. Ty Gibbs, I'm looking at you, you fucking little shit.
Yeah, and to be fair, I didn't really think anything between he and Quapple was that out of line. Was Quapple upset after the race? I don't, or did I miss this?
I don't
No,
think
okay.
so.
No, it didn't seem like
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like missing out on something.
No, they
I think a
hate
big
each
part-
other.
Good.
Well, so I do want to give, and I'm going to parlay this into what we're talking about. I want to give Carson Quapple his flowers because I did not think he was going to be that good on a road course. Because Zilich ran him down and they battled and it was intense. And then Zilich got out front and then Carson ran him back down and put a move back on him. And I did not expect that to happen. And so I think a big part of it was just these were the two fastest guys at the end of this race, and I think they were just going for it because they both want to win. And Carson's chasing his first win. So I think obviously in the future there'll be more respect, but this is the Xfinity Series. You're supposed to make all your mistakes here to get you ready. So
Yeah,
and these guys are both rookies. So
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think?
I think you just drive,
Yeah.
Good talk.
You're welcome. IndyCar was in St. Pete this
Didn't
weekend
say thank you.
for their season opener. Matthew, you got any thoughts? Because I don't think Davey and I had the opportunity to watch.
Pretty good race. I mean, it was just perfect that you had like this whole IndyCar marketing campaign, and then at the end it was two of them, 1-2 with Newgarden running down Palou at the end of it. Stingray Robb playing, I don't want to say blocker, but definitely held up Palou for like 7 or 8 laps while he was trying to lap him, which made it interesting.
He's a Fox plant, by the way.
Yeah. It's like a rolling competition caution. Big shout out, Colton Hurtis crew blew it both stops. Great job. I'm trying to remember.
Herta ever going to find a way out of Andretti?
Dude, I hope. God.
She hopes, dude. Don't
Like,
worry about it.
Colton Hurtis not perfect, but goddamn, I need that guy to get like a team that is actually, their pants aren't falling down every time they come down for a pit stop or something like that. It's just absurd. God.
Oh god.
Trying to think of what else. Broadcast.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
We lost Matt.
We haven't had one of
Fun.
these happen in a while.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me now?
yes.
Oh, he's
of course.
back now. Okay, we're good.
There we go. My internet froze for a second. Broadcast was good. I don't want to say bad. Maybe not great. Definitely room for improvement. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. So
The bits I was able to watch, really enjoyed the presentation that they have in terms of, I think, graphically and lineup and everything kind of outside of the broadcast is good. I think having Townsend Bell and James Hinchcliffe together is going to work out well. I think you're just going to have to develop some chemistry with Buxton.
yeah,
But I
he
didn't
was
have
fine.
any glaring problems.
I was gonna say, yeah, he was fine. He stuttered a little bit, but like whatever, he's commentating's hard. It's a really freaking hard job. So I'm not gonna.
No,
grill
it's
him for
easy.
that.
Come on,
Yeah, that's true. Just talk.
just talk.
Certainly, I won't have things to say about commentating later in bottom slip moment of the week because that'll be fun.
Uh-oh.
What else? Their graphic package could use some work. Mostly just like a lack of information. I mean, they did the annoying Fox thing of like only showing intervals like half the time, which is a personal pet peeve of mine.
Yes.
Where it's like,
What?
hey, look, the guy in 11th set the fastest lap on the track, and it's like, okay, I don't really care. How far is he behind the guy in 10th? They didn't have any sort of graphic for push to pass, which, at the end, every lap, they were like, so-and-so has this much push to pass left. It was like,
Yeah, that's
wish
important.
we could see that. So, I mean, small things like that. They didn't have the graphics for, like, what tire compound people were on, which is something we used to have with NBC.
Yeah,
but
did they
it's a work
have
in progress.
graphics up for, like, how much hybrid?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it was literally just, like, position, driver, interval.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
So
they got a couple weeks before Thermal Club.
Yeah, and like obviously there is such a thing as having too much info. Like, it's kind of old school. I'm like, okay, I kind of get that, but it would be nice to know all this info too. So
Yeah, no, I don't think when you're in a motorsport that has so many kind of moving pieces, different tire compounds, the push to pass, the hybrid system, like these are all things that I feel like you need to show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think not having like, and then obviously, like you said, intervals. Like, I don't really care if it's a Honda or a Chevy. If I'm being honest with you, it doesn't matter in IndyCar. Maybe at Indianapolis it does, but outside of that, and it only matters at Indianapolis on qualifying day, right?
I've said this before, and like I know obviously the manufacturers pay to have their logo on the ticker. It makes sense. I really like the way that that NBC does its Supercross stuff, where every single manufacturer has a little colored triangle, and so you see red at the top, and you're like, oh, there's a Honda. And that's all you need to know. So, yeah, it's a good race.
What, you don't like
Looking forward to
Underglow?
good things.
That was a time.
Amber
that
Underglow?
That happened, and we were there for it.
That's right. That was the first All-Star race not at Charlotte since Atlanta in the 80s. Think about that.
What a piece of shit that was, man. not to stray too far from IndyCar, because they tweeted yesterday the ratings for it. They peaked at more than 1.8 million viewers, up 45% from last year's St. Pete race, and the most watched non-Indianapolis 500 IndyCar Series race since 2011.
Oh wow.
Are we still debating the reason why IndyCar was okay with taking less money to go to Fox?
We are not debating that at all.
It's going to be quite interesting to see what the 500 rating is this year. And it's also going to be interesting to see if Fox does anything around their free streaming platform Tubi to promote the 500. And if they simulcast it on there, I don't know if they have the ability. Contracts are weird, right? But that could be another way that people can consume that race, which would be pretty cool. Just saying, free streaming.
It would be.
Free television is a good thing, folks.
They don't want to know that. They don't want you to know that.
No,
they don't want you.
No, they want you to pay. They want you to pay for the little box that gets you the TV, and then they're also going to make advertisers pay to put ads on it.
But then you have to pay for all the extra little things in the little box.
Exactly. And then if you don't want ads, guess what? You got to pay even more money a month. And even then, they're going to raise the price to where you're just going to deal with the ads anyways.
And then they're like, why is piracy back up? What's going on?
Hey, I'm John, YouTube TV, and we've raised our price $40 and haven't added anything new to our service. Why does everyone hate us? I don't get it.
Netflix be like, hey, we're going to raise the price, and also you can't watch anything on your friend's account. And also, remember all those shows you really liked? Yeah, they're all gone. Hey, this cool show that we made in 2017, yeah, it's gone forever, and you can never watch it. If you try to steal it, we'll kill you. Anyway, subscribe to Netflix.
And NASCAR Practice and Qualifying is currently on Prime Video. All right, well,
you can also play games on Netflix now. Have fun.
Whoops, we made cable again.
Oopsie doodles. It's almost like it worked the first time, so we're just going to do it again.
Yep.
Horrific.
Well, let's go ahead and go from the shop.
Oh, no, my soundboard's not working.
Matt,
Clang, clang,
God.
clang.
Do I need to go to the kitchen and get some pots and pans?
Oh, no, hang on.
That's okay, I made the
can
noises.
Fix this. I can fix it on the fly.
Oh, God. Vamp.
Vamp. JD
Oh, it's not
Vamp.
working.
Ew. Gross. Is he going to stare into my
Clang,
soul and tell me
clock.
that I should get pregnant?
There it is.
There it is. The button on my Stream Deck's not working.
That was the sound that was made in NASCAR headquarters today, as Chae Briscoe's penalty was overturned from Daytona for the holes in his spoiler, where it braced. The competition committee deemed that it was normal wear and tear that caused that. There wasn't nothing that the team did illegally.
Check cleared.
Well, only 2 teams have beaten the NASCAR penalties with these single source parts. It's kind of weird that they're the 2 most prestigious teams. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Seems a little silly. Die.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no take on this.
Sure, but Chae Briscoe has positive points now. Yay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he already did, I think, after this
Chae
week.
Briscoe has positive points, but more. Who cares?
All right. Well, we didn't talk about this when we were talking about COTA, but Austin Cindric hit Ty Dillon with a right hook. Came out today. 50 point driver penalty. $50,000 fine. No suspension.
I'm curious what you guys think about that. In terms of should it have been more aligned with other right rear hooks? Is it right to give it the context of road course so slow, yada yada?
I don't know. Like, my part of me wants to say they should be consistent with it, but my gut feeling is I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they nailed it. Like, I don't know if that's park worthy. I mean, 50 points is basically a full race worth of points anyway. So
yeah.
You know what? The maximum number of points you can get now is 61.
Yeah.
Yep. With stage points and everything. So.
With stage points and having the fastest lap of the race.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, where's the marketing for that fastest lap crap?
No idea.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it.
Drives me nuts. I don't understand it. I
don't know why we're not talking about it during the race.
It's a point. It's a whole point.
Like, oh, this guy has the fastest lap of the race. Nothing.
Like, literally, if you, like, and this is obviously blown out, but, like, if you did that, if you got every fastest lap over the course of a season, you've won an extra race that nobody has competed in.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, they don't, like, not even like a pop-up graphic like F1 has for, like, oh, hey, this guy just set the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, because, like, Kyle Larson, when he got stuck a couple laps, Ziggy
He's going crazy. Oh, my God. Where did he just go?
Oh my God! Please
go?
You have to go to the video version of the podcast at this point in time.
For about the 30-something minute mark.
Oh my God!
Well, I just heard him, but I didn't see him. There he is. Hey, buddy.
he almost knocked that whole tree over.
Yeah,
he does that. He's knocked it over before. So.
I liked how he turned around, looked at the camera, and just went meow.
It just ripped across my bed. Yeah. He's probably gonna start attacking the shower curtain.
I could tell he was on one when he jumped up there.
All right.
Oh God, where was I at? Yeah. Anyway, it makes no sense that we're not like talking about this thing that awards 36 points over the course of a season. Like, what are we doing? Where is it? Hello, please. Like, can I get a crumb?
Well, I'm sure the Xfinity Racing account's tweeting about it.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Just what we need. But actually, I remember what I was going to say. Kyle Larson in what the hell is his crew chief's name? Why can I not remember it? Cliff Daniels. Excuse me. Him and his crew chief. Okay, yeah, go help your cat.
Ziggy apparently is attacking the shower curtain. Anyways,
they were talking about getting the fastest lap. Like, they were actively like working towards it, and Cliff Daniels was giving him plus or minus lap times, like on like how close he was to getting the fastest lap time when he was stuck with those couple laps down. Why did we not cover that? That's cool. That's literally what I said I wanted to have happen, and they didn't talk about it. I don't get it.
Yeah, we need like a graphic or something that pops up like an F1 where it's like fastest lap. Like, that would be.
I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon has something for it. By the time. Also, because I just mentioned Amazon, wouldn't be, and we've like gushed about the CW's like presentation and just like we've done that this year. One thing to note, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon and TNT end up using the CW ticker, because I believe NASCAR Productions is helping Amazon and CW. So, wouldn't be surprised if they have that same kind of ticker at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Cool.
Also, quick kind of rant, because you mentioned Xfinity Racing. How much is Xfinity paying every single Xfinity driver to say we had a car as fast as Xfinity Internet?
No, it's Xfinity Mobile now.
Or Xfinity Mobile, yeah. Every single driver has said that verbatim in every single interview this year.
Listen.
I'm on to you. Cat, stop. Do you mind?
Ziggy.
Bro, why are you stimming now?
Ziggy is being zigging.
Oh, he is. Right. He's gonna zag soon.
He's gonna start attacking the curtain.
Oh.
Video version. Video version
if you want to see a cat.
Ziggy, what are you doing?
I don't want to stop the show,
Ziggy
but
is now the main
currently,
character.
Hey,
Ziggy is
quit clawing the curtain.
He's stuck on the curtain, He's whipping around. Oh my
His tail's
god.
Bro,
going.
what are you doing?
He is bebopping. Anyway, yeah,
What is your deal?
you know, it sucks, Joe. I haven't been able to watch any of the CW broadcasts at all.
Wow.
Because you can stream it online, no?
Yeah. Yep. I think.
How? I guess I
Oh.
can't do it on my phone.
Oh. Maybe you can't. I don't know. I thought you could. I thought that was
I
the
thought
whole
you could
point of
too.
this.
Yeah. But all it does is take me to like a battle camera that has no commentary and
Oh.
is just stuck on like one camera
Carson
that's
Hocevar.
watching. Yeah, usually.
As it gets sent headfirst into the tires on like lap
But that's
3
the
by Jeb
only
Burton.
when I go to the CW, that's like it's like that, and then you can like watch Austin Hills on board,
Hmm.
and that's it.
Hmm.
I don't see like an actual broadcast anywhere.
Sorry, I'm getting
Yeah,
distracted.
I've watched him at home.
Me too.
so-
We're watching the cat. Okay, he looks like he's chilling.
Hey, buddy. Are you good now?
Hey, buddy.
Did you get that out of you?
He's like, sorry, Dad. I had to freak out real quick.
Big kitty. Oh,
It's
my-
happening again.
that is a large cat.
Dude, he
Hell
is
yeah.
a big
Look
ass
at
boy. Can you
look at
not
that
stand on the
pouch.
trophy, please? No, don't sit on it. Get off that. No, oh my god.
Anyways,
Off the truck.
so yeah, that was Austin Cindric getting a penalty for right rearing Ty Dillon. I honestly, to bring it back, I don't care what the penalty was. I feel like the penalty's fine. Everyone's gonna claim, oh, it's inconsistent. It's inconsistent. Stop. We've talked about that so many times. Just give up on hoping that NASCAR is consistent because they never will be. Because it is still ball and strike calls.
Yep.
Speaking of NASCAR, they countersued 2311 and Front Row Motorsports for forming a cartel. Not a drug one, but a cartel nonetheless. You know, a lot of claims of, oh, they were conspiring against us. They went into negotiations in bad faith. All things that I think a lot of teams have accused NASCAR of doing with the last charter agreement. A lot of projection going on, probably both ways.
No,
honestly.
you're doing it.
So,
Finger pointing.
you know, feels like it's
Your
one of
Honor,
these-
my client says no you.
I mean,
What was
Fair
the
argument.
extremely unreputable website that they... Cat, come on.
unreputable website that they.
They listed as evidence. There's some like sketchy like news website for like racing stuff. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was like something sports or something like that. Like
Oh, was it like
I
Athlon
forget.
Yeah.
Sports or something?
Is
Is it one of those AI that generated sports
Probably.
websites? No, that's a thing. That's a thing.
No,
There's
yeah,
like-
because we talked about that last episode.
yeah, exactly. Or like all those random
Yeah.
NASCAR YouTube videos that are like, wow, look at this. This is Chris Buescher's house. He lives on this big piece of property. Wow. Crazy.
Race car driver Chris Buescher.
Don't do Black Flags Matter dirty like that, Joe. Anyway. Like remember that time when he quoted the Wikipedia article for NR 2003 word for word? I found it. It's essentially sports.com.
Yep, I
Hang on.
just
Oh,
found it
okay.
too.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure is just like an AI generated website. Yeah.
Yep, it is.
Anyway. We're
It
probably
is.
gonna have to cut out what I just said. Anyway.
What? What are we gonna have to cut out? You didn't say anything wrong.
I don't know. That's true. Yeah, nothing I said was factually incorrect. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah. I don't know, man. There's been a lot of. Oh, wait, I forgot to play this. Oh wait, no, my sound.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Hey, NASCAR just keeps making bad decisions in this lawsuit.
The problem is I think they've given up on winning the court of public opinion battle.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to be fair, I didn't think they were ever going to win that in the first place. Because guess what? People like their race car drivers more than they like the sanctioning body. I'm pretty sure people like their NFL team more than the NFL itself. I'm just spitballing here. So giving up on that, I think, is just the wise decision legally, let's say. This just kind of feels like it's one of these, hey, we're going to drag this out if you want to drag this out type of dealios. But,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think the teams are going to back down. And, you know, NASCAR's asking that these teams have to run as open cars. for the remainder of the season and stuff. That's still ongoing. So
Yep.
a lot of things at play right now. A lot of money tied up in this too.
We weren't lying. If you didn't believe your favorite podcaster, who should be us, when they said that this was going to go on for years, probably, believe them now, because this is going to be ongoing, as we said before. And there's just going to be new nonsense constantly, all the time, trying to throw everyone off their... Yeah.
Can't wait for Dodge to join, and then there'd be another lawsuit about, like, a random team just getting 4 charters because NASCAR holds the right to do that. It's going to be great.
Can't wait.
And then nobody gets to be an open car.
Surely they up the thing, right?
Surely, of course.
1 open car per week. That's it.
Make for interesting qualifying, at least.
Yeah.
Davey, what's your bottom split moment of the week?
My bottom split moment of the week was that while the planning and the we're still putting stuff away from this weekend, while that was all very hard, my bottom split moment of the week was that I couldn't have partied for all night with all of my friends on Saturday at the reception, because that was such a fun time. And while it was nice to go home and rest and sleep, I'm sure everyone was a little wiped out. Man, it was tough to see it end, because we were all having a great time. It was such a fun night. That is my bottom split moment of the week. I don't have much to complain about this week.
Matthew?
I have a couple that could be bottom split. Why don't you go first, and just to make sure that you don't take, or I don't take one of the ones that you.
Oh,
have.
You're not going to take what I have, because mine is just personal. So you
okay.
go ahead and go.
Okay, well, I've got like 2 or 3 because my bottom split moments changed multiple times this week.
Awesome.
At first, it was going to be Mitch Payton and Pro Circuit Kawasaki's luck. They have been absolutely cursed for the last 7 years. To put it in perspective, they came into this season with 5 riders plus 1 fill-in rider in case somebody got hurt. We're 8 races in, and 5 out of 6 of them are injured. They have a healthy rider right now. It's just brutal. Levi Kitchen had a terrible crash this week while they were literally picture-in-picture, Levi Kitchen, Mitch Payton watching, talking about how good Kitchen's been, and then he went over the bars at full speed and got body slammed by his own bike. So it's been bad, and that's what it's been like for the last 5 years. Special shout out also Chris Wright this week. I don't like dogpiling on people on social media. Dude needed to log off immediately because he just keeps digging himself deeper.
You can't get bodied by Josh Balicki, man.
And he keeps getting destroyed.
Josh Balicki is not a big name, but people respect Josh Balicki in the garage. Not to say he's some it's Josh Balicki. No, he's just a guy that people like. And Chris Wright has has wrecked into Josh Balicki 3 weeks in a row. We're 3 races into the season, and Balicki made a kind of veiled comment on it. He didn't call Chris Wright out by name, and then Chris Wright threw himself under the bus to try to pick a fight with him, and then Josh just fired back at him and basically told him to get a job. And then Chris Wright tried to clap back at him by posting screen grabs of their incident from last week, which literally just proved that it was Chris Wright's fault. And then he mocked people for pointing that out. And now he's got people from Tricon who are making fun of him for setups, or for his seat setup at Texas a couple years ago. It's just cut your losses after the first tweet, dude. Stop. It's not going to get better. You're just digging yourself deeper.
You
it's
cannot
insane.
be jumping into an argument less than a month off of plowing through somebody heading into pit road at Daytona. You're every argument you're in, you are one screenshot of that away from losing it. Never mind that he's losing all the arguments anyway.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
Chris Wright is not going to win the war of words or the battle of public opinion until he learns how to finish a race without crashing. And
wait, you're allowed to do that?
Apparently not. And I'm sure Chris Wright is a great dude. I'm not trying to condemn him or anything because I don't know him, right? But dude needs a social media manager, because literally after you got bodied by Josh Bilicki the first time, should have never even looked at it after that. And it's been embarrassing. And my like true bottom slip moment, which this happened yesterday, or I should say developed yesterday, is also social media related. And dude, this one frustrates me, and I'm probably going to actually rant about it, because like we can talk about how toxic and bad NASCAR fans are, but Supercross fans are that to another level. Like they're like still stuck in 2007 era
without any of the mass appeal, mind you.
Yeah, like like all of the slurs that you used in 2007 online, that's still a popular thing. So Daniel Blair is a former racer who was a trackside reporter for NBC for a number of years. And apparently behind the scenes, Daniel Blair did not see eye to eye with Ricky Carmichael and Lee Diffie. Lee Diffie only does like half the schedule. I should point that out. People have their complaints about Ricky Carmichael. They're valid. I like Ricky. I think he's fine. He's the greatest motocross racer of all time. I think he knows what he's talking about. Does he stutter over his words sometimes? Yeah. I don't think Ricky is as bad as people make him out in the booth, but people have been insane about him and Lee Diffie. With Lee Diffie, I think it's just genuinely racism, because that's what it boils down to. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it in NASCAR. Crank that up to 11. That's motocross, which is insane, because people saying like, this is an American sport, and it's like, the best Supercross racer in the world is Australian. Like, come on, we're not even the best at our own sport. Like, get out of here with that shit. So Daniel Blair in 2023 got the job to split lead broadcasting duties between himself, Jason Wygant, and Lee Diffie. They got 6, and 5 races, I think is what it was. Okay. Despite this, he's apparently not seen eye to eye with Lee, and he doesn't really like Ricky. I've heard from people behind the scenes that Ricky busts people's balls. That's his sense of humor. He rips on people. I've heard some people say that he can be hard to get along with, but I've heard even more people say that he's been extremely humble, okay? Blair gets a third of the schedule and then quits TV after that because he just can't get along with the NBC guys. And from what I've heard from everybody who's talked to him, he's been extremely happy. That's fine, okay? If it's not working out for you, then sure, He doesn't want to be part of the media, the company that owns sole broadcast rights to the sport that he loves, he doesn't get along with. It's a tough pill to swallow, but he made the right decision because he's been doing his own thing and he's been extremely successful with it. NBC invited him back on to a pre-race show this week. Okay, they have a show called Race Day Live, and they gave him a 3-minute segment, which is what they do for everybody. Daniel Blair bailed out because he thought that they were basically trying to kick him off the broadcast, the one that his former employer invited him back onto, and then went full nuclear and released this like expose hit piece video on Ricky Carmichael and Lee Diffie and NBC on Monday that has completely lit social media on fire in the sport. And the level of vitriol that people have for Lee Diffie and Ricky Carmichael right now is genuinely disgusting. Like, it's absurd.
What world is happening,
dude? I'm not exact. Like, and I have my problems with Daniel Blair, but like people have like dug in their heels and hard chose one guy's side who's literally just ranting about his former employee, a job that he quit, and then they offered him a job or a segment back on, and then he scoffed at it and is now like burning every single bridge in the media. And do not go look this up, because the comments that you're going to read about Lee Diffie and Ricky Carmichael are like genuinely disgusting. We haven't even heard their side of it. As far as we know, Daniel Blair could be a complete pain in the ass to work with, because as far as it sounds like, there's 3 people that don't like him and 1 person that don't like Lee, Ricky, and NBC, And so I'm trying not to make my judgments on this, but it's just completely irresponsible. And then the company that he works for has a weekly moto review show that did a live show that was 5 hours long the day that he released that video, and he declined to come on the show this week when he's on it every single week. After he just kicked the beehive and then just said, "No, I'm not going to talk about it." It's like, it's completely irresponsible. and it's insane, dude. It's completely drowned out. You cannot go on any space anywhere online to talk about motocross and not have it just full of vitriol over one person being mad at his boss from a job that he quit. It's insane, and it drives me up the fucking wall, dude.
I didn't realize there was so much strife this week in Supercross.
Dude, it's been like pissing me off for the last 2 days. Like, I've just been like trying to check Racer X, and then I like scroll down too far and I see the comments, and it's like people telling Ricky Carmichael to kill himself. Like, it's insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Which, like, yeah, there's a video that makes Ricky kind of look like a dick, but we haven't heard his take, you know? Like, at least wait for Ricky to say something before you pick your fucking sides, dude. Because it's just insane. You know, there's 3 sides to every story. There's one side, the other, and the truth. So.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been so infuriating. So.
Well, my bottom split moment was to whoever hit the power line at Baltimore, Washington, D.C. airport. Appreciate you for making me fly all the way out to Denver just to fly back to Detroit. So that was my bottom split moment.
That is a hell of a detour. Hang on.
Yeah, so to take you through, my flight from Jacksonville to Baltimore was supposed to leave at 8:30. We were supposed to start boarding at 8. We're not boarding at 8. And then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes after 8, they're like, yeah, we're not going to be boarding because they don't have power. There's a lockdown in Baltimore, is what they say. And then they're like, oh, well, it's a lockdown because they don't have power. They come back and say that like 2 minutes later because people are starting to like be like, what? And then I get up, the gate agent says, for the people flying to Grand Rapids or Detroit, you need to come up and get in line for like to rebook you or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I get up there, and because my layover in Baltimore was only 45 minutes, and get up there, and he's like, yeah, so there's that plane across the whatever it's called, what is it called? Terminal concourse in the terminal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's going to Denver, and then there's a flight from Denver to Detroit. That's the only way I can guarantee that you get home today. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what I did on Monday. I'm still extremely tired.
Oh, God.
It's been a great day, but at least I got snooze. I don't know if you ever been to Denver, got snooze, but Colorado. But it's very good breakfast food.
Wait, how long did you spend in the Denver airport?
Oh, like 2 or 3 hours. It wasn't too bad.
Is it as weird as everybody says it is?
I don't think so. What do people think is weird about it?
There's a lot of conspiracies about the Denver airport. There's just like a lot of very strange like art installations.
This. Oh, I didn't like look at the art or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I got there, I went and got my food, and then like by the time I was done eating, I had like 45 minutes to an hour before my flight, so I just kind of chilled out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
So
yeah.
I got to go back to Denver, so that's cool, I guess.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry that you had such a rough trip back home, man.
That's okay.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's fine. My Road to Pro moment this week goes out to Chase Elliott for rallying back to a 4th place finish. So,
dude, what a drive!
Yeah.
Goddamn. I remember in the last stage of that where I was like, is he going to catch Ross by the end of it? And then all of a sudden he was in the top 5, and I was like, pardon? Hang on. Yeah, great drive.
Yeah.
Davey?
My Road to Pro moment is getting to spend time with all my friends.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Matt, what's
One
your
of them
Road to
was
Pro
Joe.
moment?
Do you want to guess what topic mine's going to be?
Is it motocross?
It is.
Wow.
There's a lot of really cool stuff that happened this week. Ken Roczen won the Daytona Supercross finally, which is cool. I want to give a shout out to the Club MX Yamaha team, which is, they're not a factory team, they're like a customer team. And their 250 East rider, Max Voland, who's from my hometown, also got to give him a shout out, missed basically all of last year with a hip injury that's left him with nerve damage in his right foot, so he can't use the normal brake, or the rear brake, so he has to run a dual handbrake setup. So for those of you who don't ride dirt bikes, right side lever is is your front brake, your rear brake's your right foot, left side's your clutch. He has a second lever on his clutch side that's his rear brake, and from what I've been told, is extremely difficult to ride with. And Max scored a top 5 this week at the toughest track on the schedule and beat all 3 of the factory Yamaha guys just straight up on pace. So huge shout out to Max. And then his teammate Cody Schock, who runs 250 West, moved up to the 450 class this week for a race, which guys will do. Except he did it on his 250 still. So like he basically entered a cup race in an Xfinity car, and then scored a top 5 in the heat and finished 14th overall.
Hard.
So huge shout out to Cody Schock as well. Dude's riding awesome right now. So yeah, beat
like
2
that.
factory 450 guys also, which is just funny.
Yeah, dude.
So anyway, yeah, dirt bikes.
Dirt bike. Dirt bike.
Dirt bike.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's Fake Racers Podcast this week, folks.
Hell
Joe, just want to let you know, your Road to Pro moment not being anything to do with the reception is going to make my wife very angry with you.
That's actually his bottom split moment now, is you not making that a Road to Pro moment.
What, like...
It's Lauren's bottom split moment.
What?
Sure.
I mean, I loved my friendship bracelets, so... those were fantastic.
I'm really...
Shout out to Dewey's for immediately grenading.
I'm really, I'm hashtag noticing the silence you have about our company. I'm just noticing.
Oh my god, dude! Watching that happen on my phone was so. First off, was it Tommy and Mikey watching Maverick on his phone at the reception? That's dedication to the craft. Mikey
Fun
looked
Coast
like
500 is this week, by the way, folks. Go check out Tarnation TV on Tuesday.
Mikey looked like the forgotten 6th member of Blues Traveler. That was pretty cool.
Mikey with the hat was nuts.
That was a good look.
Honestly, that could have been my Road to Pro moment, was Mikey with the hat. That was clean.
Not hanging out with all of us or anything.
Correct.
Yeah. Gotcha. Heard.
Oh, man.
Understood. Copy.
I'm more of a one-on-one guy, you know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I like one-on-ones.
Sure thing. Good to know, Darren. I mean, Joe.
Don't ever say that to me, because here's the thing. At least I showed up, and I was coming off of
we
a
can see Joe.
week-long work trip.
Good point.
We know what Joe looks like.
Well, I'm glad you sacrificed so much.
And when I FaceTime you, I don't do like half of my face, not even.
Oh, sorry, the rear camera's on. I don't know how to change it.
That is basically what happened to that, Julian.
But
Oh, man. All right, fellas.
yeah, that's Fake Racers Podcast. Click like, subscribe, comment if you liked all the inside jokes. Cool, you're already a real cool person because you already knew them, so you're a friend of the show.
Correct.
If you didn't understand any of the inside jokes, get on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you need to stick around.
Yeah, stick around, subscribe, like, comment, say hello. Here comes Ziggy, star of the show this week.
Does he still have his hunting eyes on? Nah, he's chilling a little bit
He
more.
chilling.
Yeah, he's pretty. I woke him up.
Does he like lasagna?
Probably. Do you like lasagna?
He almost certainly does. Come on, look at him.
I mean, look how tubby he is.
Yeah, he's probably a big
He's definitely
lasagna
eating
guy.
some lasagna.
Yeah.
That big,
So,
that big man.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week after Phoenix. Here on the Fake Racers Podcast.
Hooray.
Goodbye.